Now, on to politics. An Azimio One Kenya coalition party presidential candidate Raila Odinga says a manual voter register as backup must be in use during the August 9th election. Raila says his alliance will accept nothing short of that. He spoke on the sidelines of a meeting between the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission, IEBC, and presidential candidates, where his main opponent, K.Kwanza's William Ruto, said his alliance would accept exclusive use of the electronic voter identification as long as they were assured it would work. Agano Party presidential candidate Waihiga Mwaure also backed the electronic system. Let's begin our broadcast with our very own Chemtai Gowin.
The 4-hour-long meeting came 40 days before the August general election, a meeting attended by all IEBC commissioners and their guests, the four cleared presidential candidates, Azimio's Raila Odinga, William Ruto of K.Kwanza, Mwaure Waihiga of the Agano Party, and his Roots Party counterpart George Wajakoya. The agenda of the meeting being the controversial matter of whether a complementary manual system should be used in the August 9th election, the results transmission path, and also the campaign schedules of the presidential candidates to assess possible clashes that may cause strife.
The Commission is prepared and ready to give Kenyans a free, fair and credible election, and also a transparent election.
However, the Commission was on the spot over its insistence that only an electronic voter identification system would be used during the election.
For elections to be free and fair, the law has to be upheld to the letter. We are concerned that if the law is not upheld, then anyone can go to court. If the printed register is not used according to the law, then someone can go to court and say these elections were not held in compliance with the law.
How likely are we to identify all the voters, in particular the prisms, in reading the data of the user, the fingerprints, in terms of guarantee? As you know, in the 2017 election, we missed about 2.5 million people to be identified on the KIMS kit.
Nobody is saying that you use printed registers. We are saying that system should be in place. The law requires you to have that system in place. So that if anything should fail, it should be there. What is concerning is not that the insistence is that you don't use technology. Saying yes, use technology, use all the system that have been described, but the law requires you to have that system in place. Whether it is going to be used or not, but the law requires you to have it in place.
Their competitors appearing to back the IEBC position, albeit with reservations.
We think that there is a very strong case to maintain the electronic register as the Commission has suggested, because our bigger interest is the credibility and transparency of this election.
It is true that the physical register does open opportunities for people to walk in, pretend they are being verified from the physical register when they have not been identified through the KIMS kit, and as a result of which you could have many unregistered voters entering, or voters not registered in specific polling centers, entering into the stations, accessing ballot papers and voting.
Any opportunity to do things electronically, we are running to it. It's the way to go, and there are a lot of quotes and sayings about electronic, including, and this has no reference to anyone here, that it's only a fool who would, given the two choices, who would not choose electronic.
Issue of the KPMG audit of the register, the gaps that were identified, we want to know them. We would like to know what those gaps were and whether they have been addressed satisfactorily.
On the 24th of this month, Justice Anthony Mrima gagged IEBC when he issued conservatory orders against the chairman and the commission on the issue of the manual register of voters. The IEBC chairman urging the parties to await the court's decision on the 18th of July.
As a commission, we are not saying that the physical register should not be used. We are saying that if we are to use a physical register, it should be the last resort, whereby all the other methods have actually failed.
Instead of us discussing here, because the matter's in court, I think we leave it that way for now. We shall print the register as we wait for other deliberations in court?
Yes, we do electronic identification through the biometrics, but there should also be that manual register, which is crossed, so that you can also counter-check in order to know how many people actually voted in that polling station. We're saying it's either that or never. We will not accept anything different from that.
There has been notions that are not correct, that K.Kwanza wants a manual register. We do not want a manual register. If you give us sufficient safeguards that an electronic register will function without any chance of failure, then we are good.
Several issues relating to the electoral process were discussed as Chebukati announced the Commission's intention to host a national election conference on July 11th and 12th to analyze steps made in facilitating a transparent process. At some point, a lone protester bearing a banner identified as Julius Kamau stormed the meeting room calling for freedom. Security officers bundled him out. Despite IEBC's assurance that the August 9th election will be free, fair and credible, the elephant in the room remains the issue of a physical voter register as a complementary system, and how the Commission handles the matter will define the tone and tempo of their engagements with the various presidential candidates. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV, at the Windsor Golf Hotel, Kiambu County.
All right, Goin, thanks so much for that.